It's a Veggie BLTPTA! I totally suck at video games, but love to play them anyway. Next on the agenda is the EA press conference at E3. They went all next gen. They didn't focus any on the current gen. I mean, they're still making games for the current gen, but all the stuff at E3 was just for the Xbone and the PS4. And we got to hear from Peter Moore, who sure gets around. I mean, the only ones I know he was on the Dreamcast launch, and I know he was for Xbox for a while, Microsoft, and now he's at EA. So I mean, he's a cool guy. He definitely gets stuff done, but man, he went to the dark side fast. They kind of like opened up with a Plants vs. Zombie Garden Warfare trailer. It was really cute because it started out like it was going to be a Call of Duty or Battlefield style game, and all of a sudden you get like the Plants vs. Zombie characters like shooting each other. It's like an action game using the characters from those games, and will I play it? No, but it's a cute idea. I give them that. And then there was a very random, very short Peggle 2 announcement with rainbows. I never played the first, I won't play the second, and nobody knows anything about it because all it was like 2 seconds of Rainbow Peggle 2! Yay! They went more into Titanfall, which at the Microsoft thing they announced Titanfall, and they went more into it at the EA conference. It'll be on PC too, so I'm wondering why people would pay $500 for the Xbone just to play a game that they play on their PC that they already own. Like console exclusives like that, or at least only on consoles between like Xbox and PS4 makes sense, but when it's on the PC too, probably for the same kind of stuff, I don't know why they would want to pay another $500 for it, but I guess people do. I like the mechs. I like the mechs in Titanfall, sorry. I like the mechs in Titanfall, but the FPS plus MMO aspect equals a no, sorry. They talked about engines for their games, and they ignored the Wii U completely. They talked about like their sports engine and their Frostbite engine and all sorts of stuff. They did a really quick Star Wars Battlefront thing, which I missed the footage of during the conference because stuff was happening at work, and I was still watching this at work. But I did go back and look at it later, and as everyone else can say, Hoth! Yay! The Battlefront games were pretty cool, so hopefully they can live up to the old ones and they don't screw it over. Then they introduced Need for Speed Rivals, and what did they describe it? It destroys the line between single player, cooperative play, and multiplayer. But why destroy those lines? I like me some distinct lines. Thank you very much. I don't know about all of this. A lot of games this whole conference are like trying to like not have just single player. They're trying to make everything all together. But what about people who want a freaking single player game, or they don't want to have to worry about multiplayer, or they don't want some multiplayer thing invading their game while they're playing the single player? We'll see how that goes. The Need for Speed Rivals, I mean, it looked kind of like Fast and Furious, so the movie, I mean, sorry, yes, they announced the movie for Need for Speed as well, not Need for Speed Rivals, but like I said, I like Fast and Furious movies, even though I don't like cars, so maybe the movie will be fun. We'll have to see how that develops. They did go and announce Dragon Age 3, which aka is EA and BioWare gonna mess it up again, or recover some respect points? Only time will tell. But I did like the Morgan cameo, because I'm like, yay, Morgan! You're from the good game. They did announce it's going to become fall of 2014. I know that they pushed that, but honestly, I'd rather them delay it than screw it up, like rushing Dragon Age 2. Let's see. Then they did a whole bunch of sports stuff. I'ma skip over any sports stuff because I give zero fucks about sports games. Sorry. God, it was like so many sports. It was seriously like 10 minutes of just, we can do sports and have good graphics and sweaty men and sports. Yeah. And then they went to Battlefield 4, which is more stuff I don't really care about. You know what? It was pretty cool though. They actually got 64 players on the stage to play, because you can have, 64 players at one time in the multiplayer. So that was kind of neat just to see all these gamers just on stage going like click, 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 and playing the game together. And then there was a surprise, but it had already been leaked earlier. But still, they announced Mirror's Edge 2! I am glad it got a sequel, because Even though just watching someone play that game nearly makes me vomit thanks to my motion sickness, it was a pretty cool game and a pretty cool IP, and unfortunately it sold like crap because people don't have faith in new IPs, but in the secondhand market it went really well and got a lot of good word of mouth. So Mirror's Edge 2 hopefully will sell better to make it justify that they made it. And I don't know, is it just me, or did the main girl get a little prettier with the better graphics? I know there was some weird complaints earlier, like when the first game came out, that she wasn't like good looking, and people were doing different art renderings of her and stuff. But I don't know, she looks good on in HD. So honestly, that was it. That was it for EA. EA had like one thing that interested me, which was Dragon Age 3. I don't know. I've kind of I wasn't always in the super hate of EA like everybody else has been, but they did not impress me with their E3 conference. So, I don't know, more sports. That's what E3 is all about. Sports, sports, sports. Okay, that wraps it up for the EA press conference at E3. Agree? Disagree? Have your own opinion you want to share? Comment or create a video response. Maybe I'll answer you, maybe someone else will answer you, but either way, it'll be a fun time. The clips you see in the background are from Rev3 Games on YouTube. I'll put the link below. As much as I wish I was, I am not associated with Rev3 Games in any way. I just like Adam Sessler and how he runs the channel, so I thought I'd pimp Rev3 Games out a little bit.